Good morning, everyone. It's Miss Rachel here with your Day 2 ELA lesson on characters. Woohoo! So, I hope you had a good time brainstorming hardcore yesterday for your setting of your story. Today, we're going to do some hardcore brainstorming on characters. So, let's start with an I can statement. I can describe my main characters with lots of detail. And then you can underline that or highlight that. Oh, why didn't that go yellow? Day by day, learning how to use the screencasting. Hey, we're all learning. Okay. Once you've done that, let's go through the little reading together. And then, just like I did yesterday, I'll do my own example of what I would do and how you can do the same. Obviously, you want different characters and different description and traits, but you can watch me do mine and hopefully that'll give you some ideas for yours. So the first thing you need to think, who are your characters? Now, on your story mountain last week, you should have thought a lot about that already. So you should already have an idea of who your characters are, maybe how old they are, man or woman, what's their name, are they children, are they grandparents, who are they? So, you can describe your characters in different ways, of course. Sometimes an author may state details about the character that tells us what he or she is like. Okay, so if I'm doing Bobby, the character, and he's kind and compassionate and he always does the right thing, I don't want to write mean, makes bad decisions. Unless it's part of the story. Or maybe the story is about him becoming kind and compassionate. Who knows? So can you please highlight? The author may state details about the character that tell us what he or she is like. Sometimes authors do not tell us directly what the character is like. We have to infer his or her traits by paying attention to what the character says, does, thinks, or feels. So I could start my story and say, Jimmy was a nice boy. Okay, but there's lots of authors that don't like to just give that to the reader. They might have a situation where Jimmy saw someone drop his money and Jimmy picks it up and runs over to whoever dropped it and said, oh my gosh, you dropped your money. And then instantly I can infer that Jimmy is a good guy because of that action. If Jimmy picked up the money and pocketed it and never told anyone, maybe I can infer that he's not a great guy or he made a bad decision, okay? And the last point, make a chart to help you plan what the main characters in your story will be like. So lucky for us, today is quite a bit more straightforward because since you've been in even KG grade 1, you've been talking about this guy is nice, this guy is old, this guy has brown hair. But we're just going to dive in with a bit more detail now that we're in grade 5. So, in my story, and let's continue on with my space narrative because that's what I did yesterday. My first character is going to be Dr. Levenstein. Okay, he is 38 years old. That can also go over here, but I just wanted to write that in there because I think their ages are going to be important. So, what does he look like? First, I want you guys to be able to picture Dr. Levenstein. So I'm going to tell you his height. In feet or centimeters, up to you, but I'm going to say he's 6'1". He's very tall. He has brown hair. He has thick rimmed glasses. So I can already picture him. He's really tall. He's got brown hair. Maybe it's messy. a lot of the time. Maybe puts his hands in his hair a lot. He's got thick rimmed glasses. He's got a favorite t-shirt that says Led Zeppelin when he's not wearing his astronaut gear. And maybe, does he have a beard? Does he have a 9 o'clock shadow? Just kind of scruffy? Nope, he's clean shaven. No facial hair, but he's a grown man. He's shaving every morning. Okay, so right away, this is so different from sometimes when people write me stories and they say, oh yeah, Susie, she was 8 years old and she's really nice. Okay, there's a big difference between that and saying Susie, who was 8 years old, she was average height, she had short blonde hair and bright blue eyes that shone like the ocean, okay? There's so much more detail we can add. Again, the more detail, the better. Okay, now we have Dr. Zoe Schmidt. Okay, and she's going to be 29 years old. Because I know that once you graduate the space program, you got to put a lot of years in before you can become an astronaut. So I'm making them a little bit older. So what does Dr. Zoe look like? She has short, blonde, curly hair. I try and focus on one feature that's going to be immediately recognizable. Like, oh, I hear Dr. Zoe. Okay, I'm going to know she has the short, blonde, curly hair. She has green eyes. She's pretty short. Let's say 5'4". Miss Rachel's height, not too short. And then I could add her favorite outfit. What is her skin color? Okay, where's she from? What's her background? What country are these people from? Are they all from one country? Are they from different countries? What's their nationality? There's so many options here. Okay, let's do another one. Glenn Barber. Obviously, you guys have thought about this a lot more than I have because I'm tossing out names here, but I think I can come up with something pretty cool on the spot. So Glenn Barber is 52 years old. So in these ones, mostly I did descriptions of their looks. I also want to talk about their traits. What's their personality like? So Glenn Barber is kind of like a bossy, strict man. He always wants to be in charge. He's also kind of a grumpy old man. If things don't go his way, he gets grumpy. He's also pretty tall. We'll call him 5'11". And he has gray and brown hair. You know when adults get older and they get little flecks of gray in their hair? It's kind of like that. Okay. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. And maybe he usually wears a brown old sweater. Maybe it's one of those sweaters that's got holes in the sleeves. He's been wearing it for years and he doesn't want to let it go. It's his favorite thing. All right, so we're going to do one more character. Sven Zamovich. Okay, he's going to be 32 years old. Okay, so what's Sven like? He is 5'6", 5 feet 6 inches, blonde hair. Whoops, blonde hair. He's maybe a very new astronaut. He's really shy and quiet. Maybe he's new to this crew of astronauts and he's feeling like he has to prove himself, but he's really shy and quiet. He keeps to himself. Maybe he reads a lot. You know how each character you see in a movie kind of has their like thing, you know, in series of unfortunate events. For you guys have seen it. You know, Klaus has his reading thing. Violet has her inventing thing. Give your characters a thing. A lot of the time that makes your characters lovable. Give them something that they're really good at or their speciality. Reads a lot. He can fix anything. That's how he got on the crew. He's pretty young, but he's crazy experienced. If I want to go one step further, which of course I always do, the more detail the better, I'm going to write in their nationalities. So they're all in the space station. So Sven's from Russia. Glenn Barber is from the UK. You could even say where in the UK if you wanted. Dr. Zoe Schmidt is from the USA. And Dr. Levenstein is from Germany. And then I said, give them even more detail. What's your character's thing? In fact, add that up here. What's their thing? What's their niche? What are they good at specifically? So, Dr. Levenstein, math. Any kind of advanced calculation, physics, anything like that. Dr. Levenstein is your person to go to. Okay? And make sure if you forget, male, female, male, male. But of course, you know your characters better than I do. Okay, let's go to Dr. Zoe Schmidt. Her specialty is geology. What's she really good at? She's really good at identifying different kinds of soils and rocks and growing things on different planets. That's what she's good at. But you guys don't have to go this hardcore. Yours can be more like, this person's good at fixing things. This person's good at reading. This person's really good at persuading people, talking themselves out of problems. Who knows? Glenn Barber, the grumpy, bossy old man. He's actually really good at crosswords. How will this help in their adventure? Well, I'll leave that for my actual story to figure out. But his special thing that he's good at are crosswords. So that's obviously going to come into play. And Sven's, we already did. He reads a lot and he can fix anything. So usually what your character's thing is something that will come back later in the book saying, okay, Dr. Levenstein has to do the thing they're good at. Dr. Zoe has to do the thing that they're good at, because they're going to run into problems throughout the story and they're going to need to solve them, right? So that's why they're a team. So the more detail you have about your characters, excuse me, guys, the better. So that's just a really short intro as to how to plan your characters. So today is your day to really sit down and think, who are my main characters? Who are my backup characters? What do they look like? What do they say? How do they feel about this? What's their personality like? Where are they from? That is the kind of detail that I want to see from you guys today, okay? As always, if you have any questions, please message me, Mr. Matt or Miss Mavish, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.